Oh yeah, welcome back to the channel. As I said in the previous video, we're going to be doing some headlights. So I've already taken them off the car. Usually I would do this on the car, but because I can't get access to my garage at the moment, I can't get cars in the door, I've taken the headlights off and we're going to be doing these. So as you can see from the headlights, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but these are quite yellow and hazy. They're a polycarbonate plastic headlights, are mainly on cars, new cars, and they've gone yellowy. That's oxidation from the sun, if you can pick that up on the camera, but they are quite yellow. So I'm going to mask off the chrome part on the headlight, and then we're going to use different grades of wet and dry, flat those down, and then we're going to use my special little gizmo, which I'll show you in a bit, to get these looking clear. You can also use, you can wet flat these and use a polisher. So you can use stuff like this, a random orbital or a rotary polisher, and bring the headlights up like this, but I'm going to do it a slightly different way. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to start masking these off, and once I've masked them off, then we'll start wet flattening them. Cue the music. Okay, I'm going to start wet flattening them now. I'm going to use different grades of paper and then finish off with a 3000 grit, and I'm just using a spray bottle with water. As you can see, as I'm wet flattening now, that yellowy covering on the headlight is coming off. Also, when you're doing the headlights and you're wet flattening them, there is a UV coating on the headlights from factory. Because these have been done before, I'm not seeing any like haze lines, or what you'll see is where the coating is still on the headlight, you'll see these lines appear. Now you need to wet flat those off, because once you do this next step you will see any of those lines, so it's got to be all removed from the headlight. As you can see, it's getting a more clear, milkier colour. Right, so these have been finished off in a few different grades of paper and ended with a 3000 grit. Now I'm going to use my little special tool. So this is what I use. It's an atomizer mug. It heats up the bottom there. You put blue acetone in there, it atomizes and clears the plastic, and then you just leave it to dry, and then you put the ceramic coating on. At this stage you could go the other way, where you use the machine polisher and use different grades of compounds and polish it to a clear finish, or you could leave it as it is there, mask it off and use a clear coat, which you can get from any of your sort of car stores, where you could, you know, buy a 2-pack clear coat and clear coat over it to protect the plastic. I like to do it this way. I know a lot of people do like to put clear coat on, protects the plastic, but I like to do it this way. So we get the flask, we plug it in, put a little adapter on the wall, and then we just open this eventually. Oh great, hang on. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Yep, okay. Alright, finally got the lid open. So pour some of this special stuff in here. Should do for now. And then let the little flask heat up. Put the top on. And we'll just give it 5 minutes to warm up. Okay, while we're waiting for the flask to warm up, I will show you another thing that you can do with headlights. If they're too far gone and you can't wet flat them, that could mean there's crazing in the plastic and it's just too deep, and it doesn't matter how much you flat it, it won't go away. We can do this. So these are clear lenses to go over the headlights, and these are for an Audi A1, which I'll be showing you in a little while. So these are clear polycarbonate, exactly like the factory ones. and what I'll be doing is showing you how to split the headlight and using these instead. So we'll be doing that because the Audi headlights are just too far gone. Alright, as I just said, I was waiting for the flash to warm up, but I forgot to switch it on. So I'll wait another 5 minutes and then we'll see if this is warmed up by then. Okay, I'm just going to use a mild degreaser, give this a little spritz there, and then use a clean cloth just to wipe off any residue. So that's that. And then I may just blow it off with the airline as well, just in case any water lying around. Okay, I'm just going to show you with the flask now how I clear the plastic. This one's already been done. You can see how clear that one is compared to that one. And this is where the magic happens. So yeah, just goes over the plastic like that and clears the plastic. Now when I first saw this, it's probably YouTube, or I think it was an Insta video I saw it, I just thought, yep, I've got to get me one of those. And every time I show it to someone, they're quite amazed of the results you get with it. So there it is, just clearing the plastic now. So I like to use this. I used to use the old school way and use a polisher, which is, you know, you can still do that. Depends, you know, what you want to do. So there you go. It's just clearing it now. There you have it. Some nice clear headlights again. As I know over here in Perth, you know, and right near the coast, we do suffer from sandblast and the sun oxidises everything. So yeah, this is one of the big ones with cars over here. You get the headlights are hazing up. And there you go. Okay, so they're all done now. We'll just give them a few hours just to dry off, and then we'll ceramic coat those, put those back on the Mini. This will be the last job I do on the Mini because the Mini's going up for sale. And then I'll do the lenses on the Audi A1. We'll show you how to split the headlights in a while, and we'll do those. Right, the lights have been left to dry for a while now, so I'm just going to apply the ceramic coating. Now these ceramic coatings you can get from detail suppliers. Plenty of places are selling it now. I know they don't sell you the pro stuff, which is what I use, but they will sell you the plastic protective, and we're just putting it on over the headlight like that with the microfiber. Just making sure we get all the edges and just leave it to dry. I say leave it to dry, leave it to haze off, and then we're going to buff it off with the microfiber. So just putting it over the headlight like that. And we'll probably leave that to dry and give it another coat as well, just so it's got a good coverage. So we'll let that flash off, and drying times vary depending on heat and humidity. So once that's drying off, you just get a clean microfiber. Okay, we've left them a minute now just to dry off. So the manufacturer's recommendation is just over a minute or just over. And then we'll just buff off. Nice clean part of the cloth. And then we'll do the whole process again after about an hour or so, 45 minutes, and give them another coat. Okay, now we're going to do the Audi headlights. I'm just going to pop outside and whip those off the car because, as I said before, I've got some scaffolding outside. I can't get access to my garage, so I can't get the cars in. So I'll just go outside, whip the headlights off, and then we'll split them apart. Also on the camera, if you can hear some wind noises and stuff, it is winter over here, so I'm getting some howling through the door, so I do apologise for that. Right, back inside now. It is raining out there, it's a bit rough. Okay, so the headlights on these are quite crazed up, so I've tried polishing them, tried sanding them, but the little craze marks are deep in the plastic, so these are the ones that are going to get new lenses, so we're going to split them open. You can see there on the camera, I'll show you, there's a lot of crazing around the bottom of the lens, especially on this one. Looks quite frosty there. So yeah, we're going to heat these up. I'm just going to pop them in the oven at about 130°C for about 20-30 minutes, and then just keep checking them and softening them. And then once I split them apart, we'll get the new lenses on. So there you go, I popped them in the oven. I'll give them about 30 minutes and then check on them. Yeah, good job, the wife's at work. There you go. If this was summertime, I could just leave these out in the sun for half an hour and I could split them. But because it's winter over here, yeah, it's not that warm outside, so get them out of the oven now. Excuse the Michael Jackson gloves, but this is going to be hot, so I've got these cotton gloves on to pick it up. So I'll grab these out of the oven and then I'll be back with you. I'll start prying it apart now. Just use several different tools just to get the clips out, and then just eke out the headlight. Okay, so there's a light split. You just got to be careful with these. Just take your time and just keep prising it, just take your time with it. And I'll just heat that little edge up, and then we'll put some of this, which is, I think it's butyl, if I'm pronouncing that right. So this is 10mm thick. I'm just going to thin this out and just drop a clean bead when I've cleaned all that out. Put that back in, put the new lens in, and then that'll reseal it. and cleaning all the seal now, and it's bending this back where I pulled it to get it apart. I must say, taking these apart, when you're doing it, just take your time, and it does feel a bit brutal what you're doing with it, but if you take your time and just keep prising it gently and gently, little by little, yeah, it'll come off. Don't be tempted to touch any of this chrome work in here, or if you see a mark on it, or rub it. This chrome work is very delicate in these headlights, so yeah, just be careful and just try not to touch it too much. The new lens, you'll see I've put the black trim back in from the original one, and that is going to be a whole lot better than the old one. You see the old one here, it's all crazed up. Right, this is the seal, the new seal. It's 10mm thick, so what I'm going to do is going to try and warm it up and just roll it out a bit so it's a bit thinner to get into that groove that I've got. So just, yeah, just going to try and roll it out, warm it up a little. Okay, that's it with the new lens in. You can see, looks a whole lot better now. But yep, so I'll fit that back in the car and then I'll just do the other one. And that's the Audi headlights done. We're going to put headlight number 2 in the oven now. Okay, I just got this one out of the oven. I'm going to separate it and get all this goo off and put a new one on. Okay, that's the Audi headlights finished. I think you'll agree they look brand new, better than they was before. Also, the mini lights are all done. On the next video, we're going to do a few detailing things on the A1 just to finish off. And that's about it. If you like the video, like and subscribe down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your nice comments. Cheers. Right, wait. Mini ones then. Just so I did a little bit in the mini now, and then we can drop that in. Why not do it all again?
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.